Oh, well, guys, that was an absolute roller coaster. Absolute roller coaster of a day. What a weird day. I mean, everything that could have gone wrong in like an average day pretty much went wrong. Well, let me just tell you how the day went down. Hey guys, here we are, first tournament of the year, FLW, BFL, Piedmont Division 1 on Kerr Reservoir. I'm ready to get after it. It's in the morning, in the hotel, getting everything together, getting ready to go hook up the boat, get out there to the ramp. It's going to be a blustery, post-frontal kind of day, typical tournament weather, where all leading up to the tournament, it's warming trends, and then of course the tournament comes and the temperature drops 20 degrees and we get a bucket of rain, or in this case we get 40-mile-per-hour winds. So started the day off good. I was like, got up before my alarm even went off, like right before it. So I was doing good there, and so I was planning to be here at about 6 at the ramp. Got to the ramp at 6, and there was a long line, and I'm like, it was okay. I mean, I wasn't nervous. This happens all the time. I basically just said, I'll show up, half an hour before, and I was a late flight. I was one of the last flights of the day. So I knew I had plenty of time, I thought, anyway, to get in. But that didn't work out because there was a long line, people being slow. I got in the water. As I was backing in, they were calling boat number 78. I'm like, oh my gosh. And the guy was just ripping through them. I mean, but I've never been. So I was going to miss the flight. I go through boat check. My car dumps me in. I run over to boat check real fast. I'm like, oh my gosh, we gotta go. We're on in like 10, seconds. My boat check guy says, did you sign a waiver? Now, I did last year, because I was under 18 last year. So I thought, oh, I need to sign a waiver, have my parents. Apparently, you need to sign a waiver every year. I didn't know this. And so they're like, you gotta go sign a waiver. So I parked the boat. I have to go run up, go to sign a waiver. So I completely missed the boat check. Completely missed boat check. Yeah, completely missed it. So basically I'm like, well, it's just like me fishing. Just back in and fish whenever the heck I want, because I can leave whenever. Started bouncing around, fishing stuff. Now, the problem with this was, my trolling motor, I've just put a brand new Minn Kota on, and the lock mechanism on it is so tight that it was having trouble coming up. So I have to take a metal rod, shove it in, and manually unlock it and pull up at the same time. So that was what I had to do all day. All day. That was just a huge, more than a hassle. I mean, it's just downright annoying. But fish around, fish for probably, I don't know, 2 hours. And now we have not had a bite since his fish. And we fished a bunch of good looking stuff. And there's boats all over the place. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to where I have confidence, where I've fished the most on this lake, where I've practiced, where I've caught them. Just places I think I should get a bite. And so, made the long run up the lake. And basically, if you don't know, this area was hit with incredibly high winds the other day. And gusts up to 40 yesterday. Today, there was just like a remnant of that, and it was gusts of 20. So, but it's coming out of the north-northwest, which is exactly the way the main lake faces. So once I got out of this main nut brush area, it was just beating the snot out of the boat. And I tried my best to zigzag. I slowed down. I trimmed the motor, but
once we hit the big waves, you know, I was trying to, the boat was just riding too much. So I tried to trim it down, but it just wouldn't. I was like, man, it's not coming down at all. And anyway, I'm running up, and I was just gonna go to my creek, but it's like, I mean, it's just beating the snot out of me. I'm tired, and I see this cool bluff. So I'm like, all right, we'll pull in there and see if we can fish it. And I pull in there, fish for it, but when I go to leave, I realize the motor doesn't trim down or up. It doesn't trim at all.
Well, I know, I was about to do that, so that's what I think might be part of it. Look at this thing. It's just like water at the bottom, which has gotta not be good. Could be worse maybe, but it's definitely not good.
So it's locked in the up position that I had it from boating. Clearly, and the cowling, which is the cover of the motor, is popped off. And so I was like, oh my gosh. Pull it off. The thing is, one of the trim motors is completely pulled off the thing, and the other one's smashed in. And I'm like, that's just fantastic. So I tried to get up and see what it would be like to get on pad. And oh my gosh, it took forever. I got my co-angler up front, and we just sat there forever. I just said, all right, we need to fix this. So we got up on pad, got up, and I went up in my creek, and I went to one good area where I'd caught some good ones. It's a channel swing right on a point. It's a perfect little staging place, and a place they can pull back on in the cold front like we had this week.
Got one. Good one too. Careful. Thank you.
And I pull up there, I catch like 1 over 3. So I'm like feeling good.
Yes! The start of a turnaround. Hopefully. I did catch a 4.5 pounder right here. Dude, look at that.
Barely.
I mean, just
That's how mine
that,
was. Mine
that
was just barely.
that's how they are. Must be today. It's like this cold. They just don't want to bite.
Nope.
Not at all. I need to check that one though. That's nice. So what is it, like 10:45 or something? 4 hours. 4.5 hours remaining in the day. 4 hours to get 4 bites.
And then I want to start running again, and the motor is just worse than ever. It's clearly got water in it, something's wrong, and it's just not getting on pad.
What worries me is that it seems to have gotten worse. Like it won't get on, we can't get on pad even with you in the front now. That's what worries me, like maybe water's getting...
You got it to the bottom?
What?
Did you have it all the way to the bottom?
Yeah.
This time my co-angler sits on the front and we just sit there. I mean, we are not getting on pad. So, at this point, I'm soaking wet, I'm bruised as all get out. My trolling motor won't come up. I was already late, and I only have one fish. It's 12 o'clock, my boat won't go on pad, and I can't trim the motor. So, yeah, things are going great at this point. So I tried to manually let the motor down. There's a way you can do that in a screw, but I didn't know that you could do it in the water or not, and I couldn't see it very well.
Alright, let's see if we can fix this problem. Because if not, it's just going to be a 4-hour idle to the ramp, which would just be ridiculous. And then, honestly, before that, I'd say we just put like drain the live wells to almost nothing, and then just put everything, like all your stuff, and just stuff as many of my. I got some boxes back there. Just stuff as many of them up here as we can. Just hope we can get on pad, and then don't come off pad till you get to the ramp and just fish on the trolling motor right there. Okay. I'm in it. It's just gonna be hard to turn it.
So in the end, I just gave up. You know, I'm like, this just doesn't seem to be doing anything. So I decided the only thing we can do is we can try to load everything, bit of weight we have into the front of the boat. Ran back all the way down to the ramp, which was about a 30-minute run in just brutal waves again. And basically decided I would go down to the little bridge near the ramp and just fish. I mean, it's all I can do is just fish.
And it's still blustering like full gale. Good one. There we go. Crankbait?
Right off the bat, we pull over, I get it, redo everything. My conger catches one behind me when I'm flipping the tree instead of cranking it. Now, at this point, all we've gotten bites on are crankbaits, but I keep picking up a shaky head. I keep picking up a Ned rig, a jig, a jerkbait. I'm trying to find something that they'll bite. I'm like, this isn't good enough. Clearly, I'm doing something wrong, but they just wouldn't bite it. It was one of those days that just was frustrating on many levels. A, because I couldn't seem to figure the fish out that well, and B, I couldn't do anything even if I did figure them out, because I can only fish right there by the ramp. So I just went ahead and fished whatever, you know, fished what was in front of me.
Go. Big one, dude. Big one. Real big one, I think. Dude, he's running for deep water. Dude, this is a giant one. Oh, dude, careful. He's still barely hooked. Yes! Oh my gosh! Dude! That's how you change the game right there. Look, just one hook. Thank you for the net job, dude. We might turn this day around. Come on. That's the first one I felt like actually, I got like you talked about your guy, your one biting it hard. That's the fun kind of bite. He just ran at the boat though. Oh, thank you, God. I wasn't even gonna cast. I was like, oh, I'll just make a cast. I'm like, I was thinking about turning around because all that matted up stuff just like seems like the kind of thing no one would fish. Like considering how many people we're seeing back here. Just a couple more bites. We could be on our way. One more cast. That sums up the day.
But by the end of the day, that was it. All I could do was 2 fish. And needless to say, I was pretty disgusted.
97.
Donnie Harper, 2 bass, fishing as a boat.
You mind getting a picture of me?
Yeah.
1 bass, I'm sorry. Bass weighs 1 ounce for 1.
All right. That's so frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Especially with, like it's always frustrating when you don't figure them out, but it's even more frustrating when it's like it's just like mechanical, like
Yeah.
where it's like you could have done something, but you can't, like literally.
We didn't want to stay up there.
It just
It'd get even worse.
yeah, I mean, I had to know. It didn't seem like it was getting better.
Pretty sure. enjoyed it.
I enjoyed hanging out with you. I did not enjoy it. I did enjoy the big one.
Yeah.
That was the one high. But it was a lot of lows. A whole lot of them.
Don't become a This is life advice. If you want your boat to run good, if you want to have smooth sailing, if you want your knots to always stick, your line to never break, your rods to always stay clean and your reels smooth, and you want your boat to run flawlessly, and you want to have beautiful weather, never tournament fish. I mean, it's amazing. Like, it's a miracle I made it to the ramp at all today. It's a miracle that I caught a fish today. I mean, it was like... And so that's what's so weird about this tournament. Was just the way it went down. Was just... It's just a mess. I mean, it was just a mess the way it went down.
These are not happy Sour Patch. These are sad Sour Patch. It's a Sour Patch of defeat right here. That sucked. Today was one of those horrific days you just want to forget. Everything that could have gone wrong today pretty much went wrong, which happens like 90% of the tournaments I fish. Basically, this cowling right here, these latches completely broke on the rough water, and this thing was bouncing up and down. Broke off the two trim motors, so the motor was locked up in trim. Everything that could have gone wrong today did. I only caught 2 fish, but this story has a little bit of redemption.
And I'm getting ready to drive off, and now because my trim's jacked down, when I went to adjust it, it locked down. And so here in the parking lot, I'm sitting here trying to jack my motor up so I won't scrape it off the bottom of the lower unit while I'm driving home. And I get a text, and from FLW sends out a text whenever they're done. Look down, 24th place. That's not bad out of 120 something boats. That's pretty good. Scroll down the text, earnings, $260.
24th place, 2 bass weighing 812, check for 259, even, Jack Dice.
I cashed a check.
I know.
I got the very last check by like 2 ounces or something. What?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah! Oh my god. That should not have been that much. That should not have been a check. Last check.
Highs and lows in fishing. I guess when they say that, they really mean it. I mean, they really mean it. Then, you know, I'm sitting here in the parking lot thinking I'm gonna scrape the bottom of my lower unit off on the way home because I can't get it up. You know, and then these 2 awesome gentlemen helped me. They lifted it up for me and locked it into place to show me how to do that.
Good Samaritans everywhere.
Thank you to those 2 guys. I don't know your names, but I should have gotten them. And thank you to anybody who's ever helped me. So, highs and lows. Highs and lows. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Obsessed Fishing Tournament Edition. I hope you enjoy these videos. We're going to keep coming after it. Tie lines, God bless. Let's get out of here. Because I just want to go home.